This violence we've seen is a part of a few people trying to stop the progress toward democracy. Fallujah, and our troops are taking care of business. But that PDB said nothing about an attack on America. It talked about, as you might recall, there were some specific threats for overseas that we reacted to. And as the president, I wanted to know whether there was any actionable intelligence. And I looked at the August 6th briefing. I was satisfied that some of the matters were being looked into. But that PDB said nothing about an attack on America. Had I known there was going to be an attack on America, I would have moved mountains to stop the attack. I'd have done everything I can. My job is to protect the American people. And I asked the intelligence agency to analyze the data to tell me whether or not we faced a threat internally like they thought we had faced a threat in other parts of the world. That's what the PDB request was. And had there been actionable intelligence, we'd have moved on it. I'm satisfied that I never saw any intelligence that indicated there was going to be an attack on America, at a time and a place of an attack. Of course we knew that America was hated by Osama bin Laden.
From the day she started the job, she was told repeatedly by one of her supervisors that there was no urgency, that she should take longer to translate documents so that the department would appear overworked and understaffed. That way it would receive a larger budget for the next year. Edmund says that the supervisor, in an effort to slow her down, went so far as to erase completed translations from her FBI computer after she'd left work for the day.
The next day I would come to work, turn on my computer, and the work would be gone, the translation would be gone. Then I had to start all over again and retranslate the same document. Then I went to my supervisor and he said, consider it a lesson and don't talk about it to anybody else and don't mention it.
What's the lesson?
The lesson was don't work, don't do these translations. Go out and spend 2 hours, lunch breaks, don't go and get coffee downstairs, go 8 blocks away, just chat with your friends. But don't do the work and this is our chance to increase the number of people here in this department.
I call upon all nations to do everything they can to stop these terrorist killers. Thank you. Now watch this drive. Some people call you the elite. I call you my base.
All right, we need another.
Why would Israelis spy in and on the U.S.? A General Accounting Office investigation referred to Israel as Country A and said, quote, according to a U.S. intelligence agency, the government of Country A conducts the most aggressive espionage operation against the U.S. of any U.S. ally. The Israelis are motivated by strong survival instincts, which dictate every facet of their political and economic policies. It aggressively collects military and industrial technology, and the U.S. is a high priority target.
We're just going by, they seem to think that they have him on a primary radar, they seem to think that he is descending. Yeah.
News, hundreds of Muslims gathered today outside the Jersey City Mosque where Sheikh Abdel Rahman preached, and the bombing suspects prayed. The demonstrators said they wanted to send a message.
Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar!
They prayed, chanted, and accused the news media of distorting the World Trade Center bombing. They said their Islamic faith should not be equated with terrorism.
Muslims should not be identified with those who decide, for whatever particular reason, whether it be political or otherwise, to take innocent lives in their hand and to do it under the disguise of what they may call jihad or holy war.
At least some of the people there today tried to shift the blame for the bombing away from the Palestinian suspects in custody, Mohammed Salameh and Nidal Ayad, and turn the blame to Israel. This paper handed out at the rally claims Salameh rented the van of death to do work for an Israeli Secret Service agent.
There is no God but Allah.
There is no God but Allah.
Muhammad is his messenger.
Muhammad is his messenger.
أي حياة سوف أعيشها بعد أن أصبح الجندي الأمريكي يدافع عني؟ ولا شك أن الكفر ملة واحدة، ولكن عدونا اليوم هو هبل العصر الذي أصبح معبودا لحكام العرب من غير الله، وهو الذي يسير العالم بطاغوتية وتجبر. وليس قتال الروس في الشيشان إلا بنظام هو أمر، ولا قتال النصارى في إندونيسيا ولا الهندوس في كشمير إلا بتحقيق هو تدبير، ولا تواجد لليهود اليوم في فلسطين على جواز قتل النفس من أجل مصلحة الغربيين.
Who were these men? What brought them to that parking lot on the morning of September 11th? And did they have any advance knowledge of what was going to happen that day?
The Bojinka plot was a large-scale three-phase terrorist attack planned but never executed by Ramzi Youssef and Khalid Sheikh Mohammed for January 1995. They intended to assassinate Pope John Paul II, blow up 11 airliners in flight from Asia to the United States, with the goal of killing approximately 4,000 passengers and shutting down air travel around the world, and crash a plane into the headquarters of the United States Central Intelligence Agency in Langley, Virginia. Despite careful planning, the Bojinka plot was disrupted after a chemical fire drew the attention of the Philippine National Police on January 6 and 7, 1995. Youssef and Mohammed were unable to stage any of the three attacks. The only fatality resulted from a test bomb planted by Youssef on Philippine Airlines Flight 434, which killed one person and injured 10 others. They also planted 2 other bombs in a shopping mall and a theater in the southern Philippines. Elements of the Bojinka plot, including the plan to crash a plane to the CIA headquarters, would be used in the September 11 attacks on the World Trade Center and the Pentagon 6 years later. By the time the Bojinka plot was discovered, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed had returned to Qatar in his job as a project engineer at the country's Ministry of Electricity and Water. After the U.S. asked the Qatari government to arrest Mohammed in January 1996, he fled to Afghanistan, where he renewed his alliance with Abdul Rasul Sayyaf. Later that year, he formed a working relationship with Osama bin Laden, who had settled there. Bin Laden urged Mohammed to become a full-fledged member of Al-Qaeda, but he continued to refuse such a commitment until around early 1999, after the 1998 U.S. embassy bombings in Nairobi and Dar es Salaam. He ultimately accepted bin Laden's invitation to move to Kandahar and join Al-Qaeda as a full-fledged member. Eventually, he became a leader of Al-Qaeda's media committee. After Mohammed Atta was chosen as the leader of the 9/11 mission, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed met with bin Laden to discuss the targets: the World Trade Center, which represented the U.S. economy, the Pentagon, a symbol of the U.S. military, and the U.S. Capitol, the perceived source of U.S. policy in support of Israel. Various conspiracy theories allege that certain institutions or individuals had foreknowledge of the September 11 attacks in the United States in 2001. Some of the primary debates include whether the Bush administration or the United States Armed Forces had awareness of the planned attack methods, the precise volume of intelligence that American agencies had regarding Al-Qaeda activities inside the United States, whether the put options placed on United Airlines and American Airlines and other trades indicated foreknowledge, and why the identities of the traders have never been made public. Bagratiani, a correspondent for NBC, met with Osama bin Laden in Kandahar in June 2001. Bin Laden had refused to speak on camera because he had promised the Taliban that he would not give any media statements, but Atani spoke with al-Qaeda military chief Abu Hafs off camera. Hafs had told Atani that in the next few weeks, we will carry out a big surprise and we will strike American and Israeli interest, and that the coffin business will increase in the United States, unquote. When Atani asked bin Laden for confirmation of this, he smiled and nodded in agreement. After Atani ran his story, he was contacted by Pamela Constable of the Washington Post, who asked if he really believed that al-Qaeda was planning a major attack, to which Atani replied that he did believe them, and that, quote, it sounds serious, unquote.
It's still going on a little bit.
A classified military intelligence program known as Able Danger was created in October 1999, specifically to target al-Qaeda. Lieutenant Colonel Anthony Schaefer and Congressman Kurt Weldon charged before the Senate Judiciary Committee that Able Danger had identified Mohammed Atta and 3 of the other hijackers prior to 9/11. There is no mention of Able Danger in the 9/11 Commission report. 2 9/11 Commission members, Timothy J. Romer and John F. Lehman, both claim not to have received any information on Able Danger. Weldon alleged that intelligence concerning Able Danger was provided to the 9/11 Commission, but was ignored. The U.S. administration, CIA, and FBI received multiple prior warnings from foreign governments and intelligence services, including France, Germany, the UK, Israel, Jordan, Afghanistan, Egypt, Morocco, and Russia. The warnings varied in their level of detail, but all stated that they believed an al-Qaeda attack inside the United States was imminent.
Oh, that's it. Oh, shit. Something, a big ball of smoke. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, you see it on television. Yeah, this could be a lot of deaths. Oh, shit. This one did it on purpose. Okay. Yeah, we see it going down. Yeah, we just saw that. Huh? He did that on purpose. I can't hear you. We're talking so loud. But, yeah. We sitting there looking. The other building.
It's on music. It's on fire.
No, both of them. So both of them are on fire now, huh? What's going on, man? I don't know, man. What's going on?
Yo, this is an attack.
Yeah. Bush better get up wherever he's at.
Yeah, I think this is an attack.
I'm sure it was the same thing you saw.
God damn.
Holy shit.
I never thought.
Okay, I will.
I thought he was going to run.
The plane just hit it.
In March 2001, Italian intelligence warns of an al-Qaeda plot in the United States involving a massive strike involving aircraft based on their wiretap of an al-Qaeda cell in Milan. Sibel Edmonds, an FBI translator, was told by another translator that the FBI received information in April 2001 from a reliable Iranian intelligence asset that Osama bin Laden was planning attacks on 4 to 5 cities with planes, and that some of the plotters were already in the country, and that the attacks would happen in a few months.
Kind of got us in the mosey mode this morning. We're 7-6. Roger.
In July 2001, Jordanian intelligence told U.S. officials that Al-Qaeda was planning an attack on American soil, and Egyptian intelligence warned the CIA that 20 Al-Qaeda jihadists were in the United States and that 4 of them were receiving flight training. In August 2001, the United Kingdom is warned 3 times of an imminent Al-Qaeda attack in the United States, the third specifying multiple airplane hijackings. According to the Sunday Herald, the report is passed on to President Bush a short time later. September 2001, Egyptian intelligence warns American officials that Al-Qaeda is in the advanced stages of executing a significant operation against an American target, probably within the U.S. 2002, FBI agent Colleen Rowley wrote to FBI Director Robert Mueller describing her experience working with Minneapolis FBI agents tracking suspected terrorist Zacarias Moussaoui prior to the attacks. She described how FBI HQ personnel in Washington, D.C. had mishandled and failed to take action on information provided by the Minneapolis field office, and had failed to issue a warrant to search Moussaoui's computer, despite having probable cause. Senator Chuck Grassley later wrote that, quote, if the application for the FISA warrant had gone forward, agents would have found information in Moussaoui's belongings that linked him to a major financier of the hijacking plot.
We can no longer live as rats. We know too much.
FBI agent and Al-Qaeda expert John P. O'Neill warned of an Al-Qaeda threat to the United States in 2000. He retired from his position in mid-2001, citing repeated blocking of his investigations of Al-Qaeda by FBI officials. After his retirement from the FBI, the World Trade Center hired him as its chief of security. He started working on August 23, 2001. 9/11 rescue workers found his body in a staircase inside the South Tower rubble.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a difficult moment for America. I, unfortunately, will be going back to Washington after my remarks. Secretary of Rod Page and Lieutenant Governor will take the podium and discuss education. I do want to thank the folks here at Booker Elementary School for their hospitality. Today, we've had a national tragedy. 2 airplanes have crashed into the World Trade Center in an apparent terrorist attack on our country. I have spoken to the Vice President, to the Governor of New York, to the Director of the FBI, and have ordered that the full resources of the federal government go to help the victims and their families, and to conduct a full-scale investigation to hunt down and to find those folks who committed this act.
They're not saying, it's not sure whether the White House has been evacuated as a reaction to this attack or whether there has been a specific threat made against the White House, but the White House has been evacuated.
This is a big news. I mean, this is one of those movie scenarios that we have seen in countless films about what happens when a major terrorist attack hits the United States.
And Bill, we do have a bulletin from Associated Press that says a plane has now crashed into the Pentagon.
Oh my God.
An additional plane crash. No details yet.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Into the Pentagon, a plane has crashed. We don't know what size or how many. Can you imagine what is going on? Is now down.
In March 2001, the U.S. Office of the National Counterintelligence Executive had issued a warning about people identifying themselves as Israeli art students, attempting to bypass security and gain entry to federal buildings, and even to the private residences of senior federal officials. A French intelligence agency later noted, quote, according to the FBI, Arab terrorists and suspected terror cells lived in Phoenix, Arizona, as well as in Miami and Hollywood, Florida, from December 2000 to April 2001, in direct proximity to the Israeli spy cells, unquote. The report contended that Mossad agents were spying on Mohammed Atta and Marwan al-Shehhi, two leaders of the 9/11 hijack teams. It was reported that the Mossad informed the FBI and CIA in August 2001 that as many as 200 terrorists were slipping into the United States and planning, quote, a major assault on the United States, unquote. The Israeli intelligence agency allegedly cautioned the FBI that it had picked up indications of a, quote, large-scale target, unquote, in the United States, and that Americans would be very vulnerable.
Some evil is just, it can't be explained.
Are these people happy? Are they joyous now? Are they celebrating?
Oh, absolutely. They're
Thank
celebrating.
God.
There's one report, this has not been confirmed, but there's several reports that there was a cell, one of these cells, across the Hudson River. And they got on this is the report. I emphasize, I don't know this for a fact, but there's several witnesses who say this happened. They got on the roof of the building to look across. They knew what was going to happen. Yeah. They were waiting for it to happen, and when it happened, they celebrated. They jumped for joy.
One report about a group of Middle Eastern men spotted the morning of September 11th parked just across the river from New York City has not gone away. Investigation of their presence has led to questions about whether Israel was conducting espionage on U.S. soil.
It began when this woman was watching the Twin Towers burning from her apartment in New Jersey. She noticed three men on top of a van, posing for pictures with the towers burning in the background.
And I could see that they were like happy. You know, they didn't look shocked to me. You know, they didn't look shocked.
Carl, what about this question of advanced knowledge of what was going to happen on 9/11? How clear are investigators that some Israeli agents may have known something?
Well, it's very explosive information, obviously, and there's a great deal of evidence that they say they have collected. None of it necessarily conclusive. It's more when they put it all together. A bigger question, they say, is how could they not have known?
Israeli newspaper Haaretz reported that 4 hours after the attack, the FBI arrested 5 Israelis who had been filming the smoking skyline from the roof of a white van in the parking lot of an apartment building for, quote, puzzling behavior, unquote. They were charged with illegally residing in the United States and working there without permits. The Israelis were said to have pulled into the parking lot after the destruction of the first tower and videotaped the remainder of the disaster with what was interpreted as cries of joy and mockery. The incident became known as the Dancing Israelis in conspiracy theory circles. Police found the van, and a search revealed $4,700 in cash hidden, along with foreign passports and a box cutter, which aroused suspicions.
Our number one got stabbed. Our person is stabbed. Nobody knows who stabbed who, and we can't even get up to business class right now because nobody can breathe. Our number one is stabbed right now. Our number one has been stabbed, and our 5 has been stabbed. Can anybody get up to the cockpit?
And led to the detention of the occupants. The men were held in detention for more than 2 months, during which time they were subjected to interrogation and polygraph tests before being deported back to Israel.
And at that point, we were taken for another round of questioning, this time related to our allegedly being members of Mossad.
Back home, several of the men appeared on an Israeli TV talk show where one of them, Oded Elner, subsequently stated that, quote, the fact of the matter is we are coming from a country that experiences terror daily. Our purpose was to document the event.
Right? I can't think about any more people dying, man. I really can't. I really can't.
The 5 men worked at the company Urban Moving Systems, Inc., owned and operated by Dominique Suter. After the men were arrested, the FBI searched their offices and questioned Suter. However, Suter fled to Israel before he could be questioned further. Eventually, Suter's name appeared on the May 2002 FBI suspect list, along with the September 11 hijackers and other suspected extremists. On March 15th, 2002, The Forward claimed that the FBI had concluded that the van's driver, Paul Kurtzberg, and his brother, Sivan, were indeed Mossad operatives who were in America, quote, spying on local Arabs, unquote. ABC News cited this report on June 21st, 2002, adding that the FBI had found no evidence that the 5 Israelis had foreknowledge of the attacks.
In those moments, and then obviously for them, the 50,000 people and the tens of thousands more who visit the World Trade Center, you can understand why now we have a death toll that may be over 10,000 people there in Lower Manhattan.
Holy God! Oh, Mother of God!
Says was a
a credible...
Devastating. They're all dead. The World Trade Center is no more. And there's a tremendous dust plume there kicking up. Anytime something like that collapses, yes, you have...
Of exit 11 on the turnpike. They will not let you go any further than that. You're heading southbound, heading home. And WBJ is taken there instead, of course, returning to Washington, Sarasota, Florida.
You can really see flames so far away.
They said we will not stand for any terror.
Really something.
And you have to think that
they're not flames, rather smoke. All the way over here. Although we're only like 12 miles away. Still, I mean, we'll see how that's something. I mean, be able to see that.
That's it over there.
On September 6th, 2001, a freshman from a class of Pakistani immigrants at New Utrecht High School in Bensonhurst, Brooklyn, was overheard by his English teacher, Antoinette DiLorenzo, to say that the two World Trade Center towers, quote, won't be standing there next week, unquote. After DiLorenzo reported the incident on September 13th, the youth and his older brother were questioned by the FBI and local police. According to the police, the youth admitted to making the comment, but he and his brother said he had been kidding. Silverstein Properties, according to the New York Times, had planned to meet on September 11th on the 88th floor, that's a strange number, but okay, of one of the towers to, quote, discuss what to do in the event of a terrorist attack, unquote, but canceled the meeting late on September 10th, quote, because one participant could not attend, unquote. The World Trade Center's leaseholder, Larry Silverstein, has said in interviews that he usually spent his mornings in breakfast meetings at Windows on the World on top of the World Trade Center's North Tower and with new tenants in the building. However, on the morning of September 11, 2001, his wife insisted he attend a medical appointment, inadvertently saving him from certain death.
New tonight, are there spies among us?
Seems traveling door-to-door salesmen in northern Utah County are sometimes asking some strange questions. ABC4's Brent Hunsaker has been looking into this, Brent.
Yeah, these salespeople say they're Israeli students. They even produce Israeli passports. They say they're selling their own artwork to raise money to open a gallery.
There was a team of art students that were expelled. Actually, it was the largest spy-related expulsion in American history, that had teams of intelligence guys, Israeli intelligence guys, on the same block. It was a true report that the local newspaper reports had and others, but no one on the air carried it, except Fox News. And then, to make matters worse, Fox News, even on their web, you can go into December archives and look at the report. Actually, you can look at where the report was.